Welcome to a new episode of I Know Jax, my absolute favorite local TV show. I hope it's yours too. Personally, I've been working in television for a very long time. Actually, when I started, we used something called videotape. Go figure. Now everything's zeros and ones, and you can watch videos directly on your cell phone. And everything is in full color and HD. The speed of development and technology is just fascinating. Everything is getting smaller and more efficient. Batteries, memory cards, cell phones, well, they can't really get smaller and make much sense because we need the bigger screens to watch video and look at photos. The changes are happening so fast, I can't even keep up. But one thing that doesn't change as much as, or as fast as I'd like it to, is television news programming. It's the same as it ever was. Gloom and doom, if it bleeds, it leads, and depressing news stories everywhere. Now, I Know Jax, we're a different kind of television show. We leave all that important, heavy stuff over to the professionals at the other TV stations here in town, because at I Know Jax, we choose to focus on the simple stuff, the stuff that makes life fun. Spending time with friends and family, exploring our nearby area, eating good food, you know, that kind of stuff, the important stuff. We focus on fun. So let the show go on. Here's our first story.
You're already dead, my friend. Yeah, baby. You got this, girl. You gotta live your life like a leaf on an Appalachian street.
How's everybody doing? How's the speaker summit been so far today?
Today I'm at the One Spark Speaker Summit, and we're hanging out with Maya, who is an entrepreneur, environmentalist. You have a lot of different titles. CEO. And you're 15?
Yep, I'm 15.
And you started at 8, so you already got a lot of time put into this whole thing.
Yeah, I do. I guess about 6 years now. I started my company in 2008 when I was 8 years old. And basically what I do with Maya's ideas is I create eco-friendly clothing and accessories.
Right.
And what that means is that all of the fashion designs I produce, they're made from materials that are not harmful to the environment or are recycled or vintage.
So you can feel good about all that stuff then.
Yeah, and 10 to 20% of the profits I make go to local and global charities and other environmental organizations.
So how do you choose which charities you want things to go to?
I choose the charities that I want them to go to by how big of an impact. It can be like, just local and community, or it can be like a global charity. But I like to also meet the people behind. I usually meet the people behind the charity first.
Gotcha.
And when I see that they have like a really good team, behind.
So you invest in the
that
people.
Yeah, the people, because I know that they have a really good spirit and really want to give back.
That's awesome. I love to cook. Now, I'm far from an expert, even though I've spent my fair share of time in different kitchens. When I grew up, my aunt let me help her cook Italian food for family reunions, and that was probably how I learned that fresh ingredients are the key to any cooking. Now I get to go and talk to chefs and watch them cook, and I often get to taste the food too. My favorite part.
That buffet was created out at the Palms Fish Camp that my parents owned for a long time, and we started doing that on the weekend, and then started getting recognized in every city, newspaper, television, because of the authenticity of North Florida's cuisine.
Gotcha.
The collard greens
Heck yeah.
You don't find people that can cook collard greens anymore.
What's in that mashed potato casserole, man? That's awesome.
That's the Little Marsh Island
Little.
casserole.
Besides the delicious casserole with cheese and scallops, I also love the fried green tomatoes, the greens, and last but not least, the Cajun shrimp that Art serves straight out of a giant iron skillet.
We never saw any of that artificial crab meat. We had the real thing.
Right.
We never had to get that bleached out and dyed fish and call it crab cakes. Attention, everybody! There's something I have to tell you about the crab cakes. There's something in them you may not recognize the flavor. It's real crab meat. Eat them up, eat them up. Yeah. The reason we do reservations is because it's like coming to your mother's house for dinner. Everything we fix is your food. So if you don't eat it all, you're going to take it home with you. One time Times Union did an article on me, and they said, come often, start early, eat a lot, because Art starts out fresh every day and runs out. Coming at you, hot shrimp!
And you have fried fish, and you have
With cornmeal batter.
fried shrimp, which is not too bad either.
the
And how do you
fried-
serve it?
Hot shrimp, hot shrimp. That's how we do our shrimp. We got hot shrimp.
What kind of fish was that?
The fish is a whiting when we can, but always a white fish. But what is so good about ours is the cornmeal batter.
Like
And
it's
that's
supposed to be.
Like it's supposed to be. Like your grandmother's grandmother would have
Like
done.
Mammy made it.
Mammy made it with some cheese grits, some fried green tomatoes.
You guys had some smoked ribs in there
Yeah,
too.
we have some killer smoked ribs cooked on that old-fashioned pit. That pit was built in 1967. We just
Almost
throw-
as old as I am then.
I wish I could say that. Together at Checker, but we especially love it when they come together at a birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, girl, baby.
Today I'm with Kris Chislett, the wine guy, and we're going to talk more about, well, bubbly.
Bubbly. Bubbly.
And affordable bubbly,
Good,
right?
affordable bubbly. 'Cause
Awesome.
people don't drink bubbly enough.
And, you know, everybody says that it's sort of a celebration wine. Let's pop a, but,
Yeah.
and it's year round. I mean, normally everybody thinks about
Well, and
New Year's
we got the chocolate here and
Valentine's.
everything, and it's
Dude,
it's great for
what-
pairing, but
What doesn't go well with chocolate
chocolate.
popcorn and,
exactly.
and
And
chocolate
chocolate-covered
strawberries?
Yeah, I agree.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Truthfully, though, honestly, it's people like you're saying. People don't touch sparkling wines enough.
Yeah.
And honestly, they can be like one of the most food-friendly pairing wines.
Right.
Like they can pair with things that
normally
typical,
wouldn't.
like curries and Thai
Yeah.
food and those kind of things that you normally wouldn't touch with
Cool.
with wine too much. So
So what do we have here today?
so 3 different sparkling wines.
Okay.
Start with the first one. This is the Albrecht. This is a 100% Pinot Blanc.
Okay.
So Pinot Blanc is the name of the grape.
Grape.
It's kind of similar to Chardonnay.
And where is it from exactly?
It's from the Alsace
France.
region of France.
Okay,
So it's
cool.
and Alsace, it's like World War I, World War II. It's kind of moved between.
It sounds like a German name. That's why I was
it's
asking.
moved between like France and Germany, France and
Yeah.
Germany a couple of times. So they're, they do have kind of German-sounding
Yeah.
names. So Albrecht, Cremant. Cremant is the essentially just means sparkling wine made outside of the Champagne
region.
but in the Champagne style.
That's pretty nice.
So it's not a million miles away from true Champagne. $20 a bottle. You still get that kind of typical apple pear.
Yeah.
It is brut, so it's a little
Yeah,
bit
a little
drier
dry.
in style, but I
Like I
wouldn't say
say,
it's
the tingle on the tongue.
that's
Gotta
a
have
tingle on the
You gotta
tongue.
love that,
you
man.
know,
It's
absolutely. Can you say?
I can say I just have to cut it
just
out.
have to bleep it out. We're just making more work for you by dropping into the. Yeah. Okay. Well done. On to the next one. How's about that?
Absolutely.
buddy? We're very subdued today, anyway. What's with the no colours?
I'm
Lack of
toning it
colours?
down.
Okay.
We're going classy.
We are. We're classing it up.
No.
No.
So this one is also from the same region, right?
Same region, same grape, Pinot Blanc.
Okay.
Same price, $20. This
Okay,
is
sweet.
the Helfrich. This is a
Another German-sounding wine
Cremant
that's
d'Alsace.
from France. Okay.
Yep, Cremant d'Alsace. So
And
Cremant
is this the
made
same
in
grape as well?
Yep. So Pinot Blanc, Cremant d'Alsace, just sparkling wine made in the Alsace region. Kind of similar, a little bit more. You get a little bit more yeast toast. Yeah, probably should tell the people at home that we didn't even actually try these before.
No, this is all blind.
Yeah,
well,
this
not
is
blind,
actually,
but it's.
Well, you can tell by the amount in the bottle.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, he wouldn't let me taste them before we went.
I don't want him to cheat. He has to come up with this on the fly. You're the
I know.
expert, right?
Yeah.
No, this is good stuff.
Yeah,
It's
still.
amazing how different they are from each other,
Yeah.
even though they're the same.
It is, similar kind of style. You'll notice when we move on to the next one, the Prosecco is actually more sparkling. Cremant tends to be not as bubbly.
Right.
As
Well, that you
like-
can see the bubbles. I even
Yeah,
noticed
they're
that
still
earlier.
kind of going. These
And,
one.
and Prosecco is Italian, right?
Exactly. Exactly. Made from the essentially the Prosecco
grape.
Prosecco grape.
Cool.
But yeah. So the last one, a little bit more affordable, about $14.
Okay.
On this one, so 20,
And it's Italian,
14.
so it can't be too bad.
No, all true. Like Italian wine?
I love,
yeah.
yeah, I like the Italian wine.
So you can smell on the nose, you get that peach.
Maybe it's just
apricot
because I'm
kinda-
familiar with it.
Is that right?
Yeah, maybe.
You like a good straw basket Chianti when you're at the Olive Garden. That's what it was. Yeah?
Exactly.
Until it burned down.
Exactly.
Yeah?
Again.
Yeah.
Oh, I like that.
So you see the like the peach, the apricot
Yeah.
kind of jumps out the
Yeah.
glass a little bit more. I'd say it's a little bit sweeter, but I wouldn't call it sweet, right? Good pool wine, good patio wine,
Yeah, absolutely.
easy drinking.
Sweet, but still effervescent.
Yeah, absolutely.
How's that for a fun word?
Effervescent.
You like that?
Well done, yeah. Rather than just
That's
saying
two.
bubbly. I
I
know,
like
you're doing
bubbly.
well.
I do.
I'm
Wow.
impressed.
Well,
So-
let's end on that note.
Yeah, I know. Let's not go any further before you really.
So, well, these are all great bubbly wines, effervescent wines that you can have for celebrations. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Today I'm at the Pirate Museum in St. Augustine, and it's a great place to visit for pirates, young and old. A super cool thing they have here at the Pirate Museum is they give you a treasure map. And what you do is you look for the skull and crossbones anywhere in the museum and you can find some hidden treasure like this. Pretty cool, huh? Here they even have an original Jolly Roger flag. I asked Executive Director Cindy Stavely what the response has been to the museum since it opened.
It's been phenomenal, not only with our visitors, the locals absolutely love it. We've been voted best local attraction for the past couple of years. And the school groups, we have an unbelievable turnout of the school groups that come to St. Augustine. We did 1,000 school groups here last year.
Wow, that's a lot of
So,
kids.
Yes, it's a lot of kids, and we love sharing this place with those kids.
So I know there's an interesting story about how Pat got started with pirates and his fascination for pirates altogether. Can you tell me that?
One day he was sitting in the living room of his home outside of Philadelphia watching the movie Captain Blood
Okay.
with his father, with Errol Flynn. Well, that movie totally fascinated him. So from that point on, he was fascinated and drawn into the culture and the philosophy of the life of piracy.
So he's been into this his whole life, basically.
His whole life. And it was about 30 years ago that he bought his first artifact, and it's actually a book, The Buccaneers of America. Antiques Roadshow was recently here in Jacksonville,
Right.
and they came to the museum to do an appraisal of that book, and it was appraised for tens of thousands of dollars. He's collected over 500 things: documents, weapons, swords, treasures, and then we've got things on loan from places too, not just his things, but the majority of what you see here is his personal collection that he's been purchasing and collecting for over 30 years.
Now, another thing that's pretty cool here too is, besides all the artifacts, you guys are really well known for the interactive portion that you've created. Can you tell me more about that?
Well, you're going to hear it in 1 second. Hold on there. Fire in the hole. That is our interactive cannon firing. We actually have real cannons rigged up electronically so you can fire them.
Don't wake him up.
I like to let people know that when they're coming in here, what they're going to see is one of the world's largest collections of authentic pirate artifacts. And I look at the kids and I'm like, you probably don't know what I mean when I say that. I say real things that real pirates and sailors used hundreds of years ago.
Thanks for watching. If you have ideas for stories that would be fun to share and you think we should do it here on I Know Jax, send your suggestions to me. Just email me to joe@iknowjax.com or reach out to me on the I Know Jax Facebook page or via Twitter. Most of the stories we do here on the show come from suggestions from viewers just like you. Now, I'll be back next week with another episode of I Know Jax, and until then, I'll see you on the internet.